Okay, what I want to do is I want to make a gate similar to this one here, which is a 12-foot gate. This is just a standard gate that you'd buy at Tractor Supply or similar. And I want to put a gate at the back of our fence. So this is the type of gate that we want to use. And this is the area where we want to put the gate. We have the post hole digger right now. That'll be on the right side as you're seeing it. And then of course it would be 12 feet to the left, which would be about a foot and a half from that T-post. We will remove the T-posts and then we will put in the gate. Now, with doing this, we already have this fence up. This fence has been up for 2 years. And at the time, I didn't think we would really need to go back here. This is about a 5-acre field back here. We own this field, but the farmer who farms all the stuff around us farms this field as a lease for us, so we don't have to maintain it. So he gets a little bit of crops and a little bit of money, and we don't have to deal with the maintenance. So I call it a win-win. And so we have my nice swale here, but at some point we're planning on taking over this field, so we're gonna use it at some point. At least that's the game plan. And even now, there are some times that we want to go back to the field over here on that side, whether it be just to check the swale out, whether it be going to the field itself or whatever. And right now, the only way that we can do that from where I'm standing is, you see the 4-foot gate, and then on the other side of the 4-foot gate is a 12-foot gate. So I can get to the field from there, or if I turn around, I have a 4-foot gate over there going to the garden. And that's the only 2 ways. So like in the past, I'd be out here with the dogs throwing like a ball or frisbee or something, and it would get away and it would end up in the field. I would have to walk all the way around, and you get the point. So I want to remedy that by putting a gate in. Now, the big kicker with this is to be able to do this, cut the fence, and still maintain the stretchiness of the fence. I think we can be able to do it, but I'm not 100% sure as of right now with it. So that's going to be the big iffy on this project. So what I'm going to do first is I need to set the round posts, which is going to be where the actual gate is going to go. And then I have to set the 2 square posts. And then I got to put the diagonal bracing in, kind of like that right there, where you have a diagonal bracing and then a square post. I wanted to do that just to make sure that the fence could maintain its tautness. And like I said, the fence is over 2 years old and it's still as taut as ever. I've cut the ties on these 2, so you can see that they're free flowing right now, and the fence is taut enough that it's still perfectly fine, because I go to push it back like this, and then the second it just snaps back. So the fence is nice and taut, and so the theory is to keep it that way. So I'm gonna start doing this, and then once I get to a point, then I will come back. Okay, all the posts are up, braces are up, and I have nailed the fence to the post. So let me zoom back into regular. I was actually out in the field over here, and it's kind of squishy, so I didn't want to get too far. So here's the one round post itself, and I put a nail or a staple on every single rung. Did that over here too. Interestingly enough, last year I kind of oopsied with the tractor and the front end loader and hit the fence, and it so happened to just coincide right where this post is, so it's kind of hidden a little bit. And then of course same thing on the other side over here. So let me go to the other side and then I'll show you what it looks like from that side. Yeah. Had to come over here, take a little detour with the sisters. There's ML right there. And so part of the reason why we're doing this gate is for them, because I wanted to have the coop in the chicken tractor. So if we did, you know, take the field over in the future, and if we so demise or whatever, then we could be able to take the chicken tractor and then take the chicken tractor out into the field. So this is what it looks like from this side. So we got the 12 feet up, and then the fun part is going to begin, which today's Thursday. I'll probably do that Saturday because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. And basically what we got to do is we got to take the fence itself. We have to strip out the vertical pieces and then cut the fence and then bring the fence back over and tie it, all without losing the stretchability of the fence. So we'll see how that happens. So when I get to that, Andre will be out here helping me at that point, and then we'll probably videotape some of that. But I took the T-post out of the ground. So there was a T-post that was right there, which is over here now. But as you can see, let me zoom out. Same size T-post. So that's how much the T-post actually went into the ground. So I think we put them in about 18 inches or so. So it actually was a lot harder to get those T-posts out than I thought. I basically had to use the spade and dig them out, because I thought it would be real easy to dig them out, but I forgot I put them down that far. So, which is a good thing. So anyway, this part is done. Now into the next part, which is actually doing the fence part. And then we can actually put the gate up. Okay, we have stripped the wire back, the vertical pieces back to as far as where we're going to cut. Then to get some of the rust off, we've done 3 already. But basically this is what we're doing, is we're cutting it right here. We're taking these pieces off, which I've already pre-done, and then we're turning around and wrapping, which is over here, and then coming here. Luckily, the staples that I put on yesterday, we put the phone around, those staples are keeping the tension. So if you feel the tension here, the tension's still taut, which is good, which is actually better. This is more, this is better than when we did it initially. So I'm kind of happy about that. So basically what we're doing is we're going from one side to the other. So we're doing a piece on this side, then doing a piece on that side, and just going back and forth. And we're just working our way down. So what I'm going to do now is show you the process of what we're actually doing. So Andre is going to take the phone, and then I get to hopefully do it right. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting it right before this vertical piece here, like so, and then those just get thrown in there. Then now I have my wire piece, and now I got my little trusty stool here. And so we looked online, and this seemed to be the easiest way to do it. Is you come in, you go over like this, and then you come back from behind and do it like that. And then the kicker is once you do that, then you go underneath like this, and then you spin it around a few times. And you try to get it as tight as you can, which this time it's actually good. Then a lot of people will they'll cut the wire at that point, but I just leave it like that. And so that's what you got to do. It's not really that hard, it's just annoying. And so, but as you can see, the fence is still perfectly taut, and you know, that's the oopsie I did with the tractor. Andre, go to the next one over and see how taut that one is. Okay, yeah, so it's still pretty taut. So I'm happy about that. The purpose of this fence, the primary purpose of this fence is to keep the dogs from going out. So the primary purpose of this fence is not to keep animals from coming in or goats from coming out or something. Because if we had goats or something like that, it would be a completely different type of fence. This is just a standard field fence that you could get at Tractor Supply or Agri Supply or a store like that. And so that's pretty much it. And so we'll keep working our way down, and then this part will be done. Okay, and with a lot of tedious work, that is done. For the most part, it ended up being pretty good. It's still taut on both sides, which is the main thing I was concerned about by doing this. We have our fence piece here that we're probably going to throw out. And then for the first time, since we put the fence up, I could walk freely from one side to the other. And I'm in the field now with the swale right here. So this is good because I have an avenue right here for salad for the sisters. Because all this reddish brown looking stuff is sour grass, and the chickens love sour grass. So whenever we're not able to take them out, I just rip up an entire clump of it or multiple clumps of it, and I give it to them, and then they go chicken bananas for a little bit. So it's a win-win situation. And sour grass is a rhizome, which means that once it gets established, you'll never ever get rid of it. Kind of like Bermuda grass. So this is what the fence looks like from this side. So the only thing left is to put the actual gate on itself, which Andre and I will do in a little bit. It did actually rain last night. We had a storm come through with 35-40 mile an hour winds. The greenhouse held up really good, and so one last step and then this will be done. All right, in Viola, the gate is up. As you can tell, the guys are really excited. Sherlock's like, I want to use the gate. Lady Pants is like, I want to use the gate. But neither one of them are going to be using the gate.
I'm going to use the gate.
So Andre is using the gate. So the gate is working. And so there's one other thing I wanted to do before I call this project complete. So let me do that right now. That's better. That's something I've been wanting to do for over 2 years now. The weather station has been over there where that T-post is, and that thing has been a mowing nightmare ever since I put it over there. Ironically, that T-post was the original boundary for the septic system, because when they came out and did the septic system, they put the drain field in, they packed the dirt down, and then they spread the dirt, the remaining dirt, all over the place. And that corner right there represented the edge of the dirt that they displaced. So when we first figured that out, we came and we put 4 T-posts in, so we knew where the no-go zone was for the septic system. Since then, we figured out where the actual septic system is. So the actual edge of the septic system is right here where this paver is. But at the time we didn't know that, and I would rather be on the conservative side, so I put that T-post there. Then when we got the weather station, I created that little redneck system to just put on top of the T-post, and it was always meant to be temporary, but as everybody knows, temporary is always a lot longer than you intend it to be. So now it's in its permanent position. So it's actually a little closer to the house, so it still should be able to read fine. And it's on top of a post, and it's on the hinge side, so the tractor or whatever should not bother it. And it's high enough, I shouldn't hit it when I'm going with the lawnmower or if I'm walking around or anything. So that makes me feel a lot better. So the gate is done. The gate is in. The fence ended up being good on both sides. So yes, you can be able to stick a gate in the middle of a fence that's already been done. Oh, I've seen it with T-post fences before, but not with a regular fence. So that's good.
Yeah, your last thing is take that T-post out.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna, after I finish the video, now I'm gonna take that T-post out, and then I can be able to mow over there and not have to deal with that T-post, which will make me very happy. Oh, and on the side note, the greenhouse worked out really well last night because we had really bad wind gusts, and so those 2x4s I put on the bottom helped out a lot. So that has nothing to do with the gate, but I figured I'd put that in there. So gate is done. So now I can feel like I accomplished something over the winter this year, which has been very lax.